I'm Caleb, I'm 21 years old.
Hope, 22.
Reagan, 22.
When was the last time you practiced a musical instrument? If the answer to this question is not recently, then I'd say it's time to make a change. I grew up practicing piano, and I've seen how it has inspired me to take initiative when setting goals and given me a hobby that I feel fulfilled in and proud of. I believe that my experience with music instilled in me a respect for and drive toward excellence in all areas of my life. Every one of us has the potential to begin learning to play an instrument, and I hope that each one of us want to improve our lives. If you fit these two descriptions, I'd say it's time to pick up an instrument. The purpose of my speech today is to persuade you to begin learning to play an instrument and to inspire you to encourage your loved ones to do the same. Today we will discuss how learning to play an instrument can improve the mental health of youth, how learning to play an instrument can ameliorate youth loneliness, and how learning to play an instrument later in life can still have significant positive impacts. Learning to play an instrument can reduce the amount of time spent on social media, improving mental health. Igor Pantek, in an article in 2012, reported that depression and time spent on social media are positively correlated. Musical instruments offer a promising avenue to improve this dire situation. Adrian Hill, in an article in 2015, reported that adolescents who have learned to play an instrument are more than 10% less likely to spend time on screens daily. This is exciting because by picking up an instrument, our adolescents are less susceptible to the dangers of social media by giving them a new way to express themselves and be entertained. While learning to play an instrument can reduce the amount of time spent in activities that induce self-criticism, it's also too important to address how learning to play an instrument affects outward interactions. So let's talk about the social outcomes of instruments. Learning to play an instrument can ameliorate loneliness because those who play instruments are better at processing social situations. Hilal Bashir, in an article in 2017, reported that the younger generation is lonelier than other groups and the loneliest ever. This is especially concerning when compared with an article by Aina Sabalainen from 2020 that reported that experiencing loneliness is consistently linked to compulsive internet use. And as we just discussed, that addiction to internet use causes more problems. The loneliness pandemic that is plaguing our younger generation is leading to a higher risk for addictions. And as we just discussed, those addictions can lead to higher depression. Beatrix Alari, in an article in 2023, reported that music learning is linked to positive socio-emotional development and emotional regulation. This is exciting because it shows that by learning an instrument, our youth can have improved social competence and resilience, allowing them to be more social and less lonely. While the effects of learning an instrument are more profound early in life, there can still be significant positive impacts by learning an instrument later. Learning an instrument later in life is highly likely to protect you from neurological illnesses. As medicine has improved, people are living much more longer lives, and age-related neurodegenerative diseases are a much more relevant issue that we need to be aware of moving forward. My grandmother was diagnosed and has suffered with dementia for roughly 10 years, and it's been quite a burdensome experience. Lynn Edders, in an article in 2008, reported that caring for a relative is associated with increased family conflict, decreased social support, and limitations in social life. I have seen evidence of this in my own life. My mother and I spend the most time caring for my grandmother, and when we switch off, I have seen how her exhaustion leads her interactions with other members of my family to be acrimonious. I've also seen how there have been decrease in social support and limitations in social life through my experiences. In order to maintain my grades, I spend the weekday studying tirelessly, and on the weekends, I return home to provide care for my grandmother. I have very little time to find social support and live a fairly lonely life. But Alison Balbag, in an article in 2014, reported that musicians who play instruments in older adulthood have a 64% lower likelihood of developing dementia or another cognitive illness. Additionally, Najmi Mahid, in an article in 2019, reported that increased interaction with music increased happiness and decreased depression symptoms in depressed individuals. This is really exciting for these situations because that means by learning an instrument, the people at risk for dementia are less likely to develop it, and those who are caregivers for them can find solace and healing through music. You hopefully now have a better understanding of how learning to play an instrument can improve mental health, how learning to play an instrument can ameliorate loneliness, and how learning to play an instrument can have significant positive influences regardless of your age. I hope that I persuaded you to begin learning an instrument and inspired you to encourage your loved ones to do the same. So let's go find a loved one and an instrument and begin working together to improve all our lives through the study of music. Thank you.